a tea that is an immune booster. It is going to warm your body. It is going to help you to fight colds and flu. It is going to battle the bloat. So if you've eaten or you've had a heavy meal, or you actually just want to, just maybe drop a size or two, this is a wonderful, wonderful tea that you can make for yourself. Where is my cup? Here is my cup in studio. And this is the tea. I'm going to pour in such a way that I don't pour it all over myself. So what have I got here? If you are anywhere near any of our socials, you will see that the tea is a golden pinkish kind of a color, depending on which social network you're on, because they have different colors. But I trust and believe it is a golden pink, like a rose gold, essentially. And what do I have in here? So the first thing I put in here is hibiscus flowers. Why do we want hibiscus flowers? Because hibiscus flowers, Brother Sibonisu, are immune boosters. Mm-hmm. They will balance your blood pressure. They will balance your blood sugar. And they will give you a little bit of a wake up, because they are quite bitter. And bitter is better when it comes to herbs. So that is hibiscus is number one. Number two, what I have in this tea, so you can put in there 1 tablespoon of hibiscus tea to 1 liter of boiling water. You throw in your hibiscus flowers. We're getting right into it this morning. Then you're going to take a stick of cinnamon or a stick of cassia, and you're going to throw that in as well. Then you're going to take a 1/2 teaspoon of parsley. Throw in that 1/2 teaspoon of parsley. These are all dry ingredients. Dry ingredients. If you're using fresh, replace any teaspoon with a full 1/4 cup of the fresh herb. But for the dry herb, it's a teaspoon. So we've got our hibiscus, 1 tablespoon, 1/2 teaspoon of parsley, 1 stick of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of rosemary, and we've got a good solid pinch. That's about almost 1/2 teaspoon in this case of cayenne pepper, because that is great for our circulation, for oxygenating our bodies, getting the blood flow to our brains. So cinnamon, anti-inflammatory; cayenne pepper, anti-inflammatory; rosemary, anti-inflammatory; hibiscus, anti-inflammatory. So no matter where you have inflammation, this is going to help you. And sometimes we have inflammation, we don't even know we have it. So we have a comment coming in from Etienne Fortsman. Please go ahead and make that. He says, good morning. Good morning. Comments coming in. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Wa alaikum salam. And welcome to Green Thumbs Up. So what is the cinnamon going to do? The cinnamon is going to, especially if you have a cough or a sore throat, Siboniso, that's where the cinnamon is going to help you. Okay, and the rosemary is antibacterial. So if you, antibacterial and antiviral. So if you haven't taken an antibiotic, for instance, and you want to try something natural, rosemary is the one to try. So I'm going to pass the thermos flask over to you, and let's dish up some of this. Oh, yes. And then there is also a slice of lemon in there. Why? Because we want to balance the pH of the body. So for that 1 liter, all you do is bring it to a boil, let it stand for about 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes to 6 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes. Yeah, right. That's fine. If you go to 10 minutes, it's fine, but don't boil it for that time. Simmer it. So drop the heat as soon as it boils. Simmer it. I've not made it too hot.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah, it's just a nice temperature. I don't like tea that scalds your mouth, because life's too short to burn your mouth.
So, by the way, actually, I miss the ingredients. Like, what is there?
You miss the ingredients. Actually, okay. So it is hibiscus flowers, 1 tablespoon. 1 liter of water, a nice big stick of cinnamon. You then have a 1/4 teaspoon of parsley, which is a digestive. You have a full teaspoon of rosemary, a pinch of cayenne pepper, and a slice of lemon. It's quite a lengthy recipe, but it's lovely. There's no sugar, there's no sweetener to it, but you will find a little bit of sweetness in it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Now I can feel a little bit of sugar and some lemon-like taste,
And yet there is absolutely no sweetness in this whatsoever, except the sweetness that comes from the herbs themselves.
Can you show them on the
On the
Facebook,
cameras, on the Facebook. Yes, of
Instagram?
course. There you go. You can
Yeah.
see it is a rose gold color, depending on the social media platform you're looking at, because the lighting varies, wherever we put the cameras. So you can drop us your comments on any of the socials. You can also WhatsApp us 060-904-1056. Don't forget, folks, that Radio Al-Ansar is now on the Tiki-Taki. Yes, we're on the Tiki-Taki. Speaking of which, do we have the little, there's a message that's come in over here. I just want to have a look at the one. Sister Fatima Effendi, she's sending salams. Keep warm and snuggle up. We've got one more over here from Sister Shamim Hafaji. She says, Ya Allah, let me seize any opportunity to do good. The moment can just slip away with no return, only for your pleasure. How beautiful is that? And then there is someone asking for some advice just further up there. Okay, so I need some, advice with food. Okay, food parcel. So we will refer that to the right radio show. And then a lovely message that has come in from Sister Raisa. Forgiveness is never ending. Ya Allah, fill my hands with that which pleases you. Ya Allah, wash my hands with your mercy. I am truly poor. Ya Allah, forgive our sins, forgive our indiscretions, our mistakes, which we have done either deliberately or in innocence. Ya Allah, forgive our past and guide us all in our future. Inshallah, Ameen. So beautiful wishes from everybody. So in terms of the messages that have come in, here's a question. Hope you are well there. So many talks about beetroot, but it is so rare and expensive. What is your opinion on it? So it may be rare and expensive depending on where you are, and I don't know where you're messaging us from, because we are live internationally, both on Radio Al-Ansar and on my own TikTok at Life Coach Rabia. But do follow the Al-Ansar social platforms. So it depends on where you're messaging from, because here in South Africa, beetroot is not rare. Etienne, you in Johannesburg, so beetroot should not be rare for you. I would suggest you get to a food market. A lot of people tend to think you have to buy organic. And here's the thing. I love nature and I love natural healing, and I find that sometimes people will get so hectic about natural healing that it's almost like you get the giggles of the natural healing. Like, it has to be grass-fed beef, and it has to be organic potatoes that were grown on volcanic rock. And I'm like, no, girl, no. Do what your pocket can afford. If you can afford organic, by all means, darling, use the organic. Most definitely and most indeed, it will benefit you. However, if you cannot afford organic, just marajoy, because it is natural. It is a plant. Yes, marajoy. Because if it is natural, it's fantastic. Don't panic if it's not organic. It's okay. The point is to wash your stuff out, wash your fruit and your vegetable very well before you use it, and ideally include the skin. Let's talk about this question about the beetroot. Now, a comment says, I've started using ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo biloba is great for brain health, absolutely. But beetroot is relatively easy to find unless you are shopping at some of the more upper crust shops. They go to Woolies High, those shops. And when you go there, then sometimes the only beetroot you can find is the one that has been already pickled. And we don't want the pickled. We want the natural. So what you can do with beetroot, does it deserve the hype? Absolutely. If you suffer from low iron, particularly, beetroot deserves the hype. If you're wanting to make kvass, which is a beetroot fermented drink, not fermented as in alcoholic, let us make that very clear. It's fermented like sauerkraut would be fermented. It is a drink. Then that is a probiotic, prebiotic, postbiotic, immune boosting bomb, and you can have 100 ml a day is absolutely enough. Any more than that may raise your blood pressure, so make sure that you are only consuming a maximum of 100 ml of beetroot kvass. Anybody want a recipe for beetroot kvass? Very, very, very simple. All you do is take your beetroots, wash them, cut off the bottom, cut off the top. You don't need to skin it. Chop the beetroot up into small chunks. The smaller the chunks, the better, because every side of that beetroot needs to touch the water you're going to put it into. So now you're going to take a big jug or big glass jar, a wide mouth jar. Ideally, 5 liters is great. It contains 5 liters. Put in your 5 liters of warm water. So it's boiled, you've cooled it a little, and you're putting that in there. Then you're taking your 3 big beetroots worth of chopped up beetroot, you're throwing it into that water. And immediately you've done that, you're going to throw into it, I know, I always say don't take sugar, but in this case you can, because the beetroot is going to eat that sugar. You're going to add to it 1 cup of sugar. That's 250 mLs of sugar. Add the sugar in there, put a muslin cloth over it, tie it down. A rubber band is great, just to not let the dust fall into those beetroot pieces, and leave them in a dark place, but where it's warm. 4 to 5 days is more than enough in the summertime in Durban when the temperatures are higher. But if the temperatures are lower and it is winter, then you're wanting to leave it for longer. So all you do every day is just stir that liquid and put the lid back on. Question has come in, can I boil beets and drink that? Is the water healthy? Well, the moment you're boiling a beetroot, you are killing off some of the goodness in it. Yes, same as when we cook food and we overcook it, and then you've killed it. You've killed all the goodness in it. So the only thing that you're going to maybe be left with is fiber. Eating beetroot is fine. You can grate it into salads raw. You can, for some people, it's sensitive on their stomach, but you can grate it raw. You can make this kvass, which is easier to take for people who have sensitive stomachs. So you're going to check it every 2-3 days. Every day you're going to stir it, give it a good stir. After 3 to 4 days, you're going to find that bubbles begin to form in the glass jar. When you tap the jar, all those bubbles float to the surface. You can taste it. If it is still very, very sweet, it needs to go a bit longer. If it goes too long, it's going to turn into vinegar. You can still use your beetroot vinegar, your kvass vinegar by all means, but using the kvass and drinking the 100 ml is much, much better. So I hope that answers the question that came through. Lots of salams coming in on Radio Al Ansar social media. Wonderful to be talking to all of you here this morning. The weather in Durban, we covered. Let's talk a little bit about the weather in what they call the mother city, because I don't know. It's always so cold there, hey? Hey, I've got friends in Cape Town, and I tell you, Sibunisu, they always complain they get 4 days of weather in one day. 4 different weather in one day. And we know it is the windy city, but yeah. On Sunday, today, you're looking at 9 degrees minimum to 17 maximum. As the week goes on, I'm afraid, Cape Town, doom, doom, doom. It's going to get colder. Oh, by the time they hit Sunday in Cape Town, it'll be 14 degrees. 14 degrees. And do you have this little goody majiggy, this thing for that thing? There we go. I'm just asking our sound engineer because that'll make life easier. There's so many messages coming in. Shamzad is messaging in from Pretoria, and we've got Sister Khadija messaging in as well. Let's have a look at some of the messages that have been coming in. So Fatima Effendi says that treatment we're going to be speaking about for costochondritis. Shamzad says, how do I get, Assalamu alaikum and wa alaikum salam, how do I get rid of weeds like these? Tried many products, but they keep growing again. Now, what you're showing me there, it actually looks like it could be dandelion. And dandelion is one of those weeds that we need. Dandelion is an anti-aging plant. It's one of the few things that'll help your body to build collagen right from the get-go. And it'll help you to build collagen if you drink it internally and if you drink it if you apply it onto your skin as a tea. Dandelion is also quite high in vitamin C, coincidentally, and those stalks, the stalk that holds the flower up, is so packed with nutrition that in the olden days, we're talking in the 1800s, what the ancient herbal doctors used to do is they would go to the flower stalk when that flower is nice and yellow and open, and they would cut the stalk towards the bottom, like you've got in your photo, Sister Shamzad, that you've sent us. Cut the stalk down at the bottom. Once they've cut it, then they remove the flower. So that makes sure that, you know, the flower is still pulling on the liquid inside the stalk. You snip it down at the bottom, you lay it down for 10 minutes, then you snip off all the flowers. You can consume those stalks. And some of the ancient herbals talk about consuming 100 dandelion stalks a year to keep every single cold and flu away. Meaning that theoretically, if you were to consume 100 dandelion stalks every single day for I think they said 2 weeks, 100 stalks a day for 2 weeks, 7 days minimum, then you should find that you don't get the flu. So that you are sitting on is actually gold. Sister Shamzad in her garden. Sister Khadija says, Assalamu alaikum, Rabia, love your show. Walaikum salam. I was given a box of ginseng root in small sachets, was told to have it in a tea. Can you advise on the benefits of ginseng? Wow, somebody really must care about you if they are giving you ginseng root. Ginseng root is a powerhouse of memory, a powerhouse of immune system, and I'm not going to lie, a powerhouse of libido if you are with your halal, right, in your marriage. It is a wonderful, wonderful herb. And how you would use your ginseng, there's two ways. You can make a tincture from your ginseng, which means you would fill a jar with your pieces of ginseng, and then you would fill it right to the brim with apple cider vinegar. In the olden days, they would use corn liquor. Now, we don't use that, so we can use apple cider vinegar that contains the mother in it. And you're going to need to leave that sealed jar that you've sterilized first, right, before you've put everything in there. Seal it, put it away for about 2 months, and then you have a beautiful tincture where you will only need a half a teaspoon a day. Do not consume ginseng towards the evening time because you won't sleep. It'll keep you awake. It gives you a massive boost of energy. It's great for your circulatory system. Ginseng is one of those that has been touted for many years, especially in ancient China, in ancient Japan. They used to use ginseng. Ginseng was given as a gift to very, very important guests because it is held in such high regard. If people are feeling run down, their immune system is shot, they've been getting quite ill, ginseng is one of those that you would use. To make your cup of ginseng tea, you could just put about a teaspoon's worth of those dried ginseng bits into a teapot with a cup of water. Bring it to a boil. As soon as it's boiled, switch off the heat down to about 1 or 2, so it's very low heat. Let it simmer for 10 minutes. Once you've done that, you can strain it and you can drink it. You can reuse the same ginseng. Ginseng in the Far East is an art. It's an art. They actually have a convalescent soup, which is a chicken soup, which is made with fresh ginseng. If only we could get ginseng now, because Brother Sibunisu's cold and flu would disappear in 2 shakes of a lizard's tail. Speaking of disappear, we need to take some ads at the moment, so we're going to disappear for just a few minutes, but we'll be right back after the break. Stay with us.
Kruger Rands are a timeless investment. Every day, thousands trust Isa Bullion to buy, store, and sell them effortlessly. With 16 years of global expertise, we make gold trading simple. Trade 24/5 from anywhere on our user-friendly platform, a first for South Africa. Each Kruger Rand is fully insured and stored in high-security vaults. Enjoy competitive pricing and guaranteed buyback. Isa Bullion, built on trust, driven by expertise, focused on your future. Visit isabullion.co.za today.
Al-Ansar Outreach invites you to make a difference. Donate your gently used cloaks and kurtas for all ages, men, women, boys and girls. Items will go to madrasas, old age homes, and communities in need. Drop off at 207 West Road, Overport, or call 031 208 1601. Your contribution brings warmth, dignity, and hope.
Sponsor an orphan, and you'll help support a vulnerable child to have the education they've always dreamed of, so they can build a brighter future. You'll be feeding a hungry stomach and a hungry mind with knowledge that will last them a lifetime. That's the power of an education. Sponsor an orphan now with Islamic Relief.
The Sunday Lounge. Gustavo Calvaho, 10 to 12. Latest machine. Celebrity artist features. Events. News from the machine world. Top 10 countdown. The Sunday Lounge. Gustavo Calvaho.
Come get our butcher's best fillets at Checkers Foods Kawi Park. Enjoy certified halal butchery products like lamb curry pieces, just $119.99 per kg. Beef oxtail, just $98.99 per kilo. And Starn lamb rib, just $159.99 per kilo. Deals valid until Sunday, June 29th. Only at Checkers Foods Kawi Park. Butchery, bakery, and deli. Certified by the NIHT.
From the salvation of Nuh alayhi salam to the victory of Musa alayhi salam, the day of Ashura echoes the profound love and support Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows upon those who walk the path of righteousness. Adam alayhi salam repented. Yunus alayhi salam was released. The day the Arsh, sky, sun, moon, stars, and heaven were created. Ibrahim alayhi salam was saved. Isa alayhi salam was born and raised to the heavens. The great kingdom was bestowed on Sulaiman alayhi salam, and Yaqub alayhi salam regained his eyesight. Yusuf alayhi salam was saved from the well, and Ayyub alayhi salam was cured. And the day Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu anhu was martyred. Muharram, Shahrul Haram, and Ashura, a 10-day series of tales from the beginning of time leading up to significant events on Ashura after Maghrib, presented by Fahim Jamadar, exclusive to Radio Al Ansar.
Ladies, you've been waiting for this Sip and Paint event. Join us for a creative afternoon of sipping and painting. Saturday, July 19th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., 207 West Road, Conference Hall.
Unleash your inner artist, relax and enjoy good company. All materials provided for just 300 Rand.
Let's get creative and make some unforgettable memories. Call Hajra now on 075 082 4327.
Getting you through your day. Radio Al Ansar.
Get ready for Green Thumbs Up, the gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed. I'm your host and life coach, Rabia Calvaho, and we're talking birds, bees, butterflies, and blooms, growing food in garden rooms, home-based holistic healing, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or nature lover, plant assassin, or permaculture professional, we got you. We got you. Let us bring you the ideas, the facts, support, and inspiration to go green wherever you are. Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al Ansar. And you're back with Green Thumbs Up. Thank you so much for staying with us. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum. If you've just joined us on Radio Al Ansar, our WhatsApp number 060-904-1056. If you're wanting to WhatsApp us from overseas, because we have lots of overseas listeners currently watching us on the socials and listening to us on live stream, then it would be 27 is the country code, and then 60-904-1056. There we go. That's it. So we had a few questions come in the break, but I really want to just start with our topic of today. And by all means, keep those questions coming, but it is going to be answered by the content that we are addressing today. So the first thing that we want to talk about is a question came in, and it was what to do about costochondritis. Now, what is costochondritis? It is an inflammation of the cartilage that connects the ribs to the breastbone or the sternum. Okay. And in other words, it's inflammation. Now, the tea that I gave out this morning, the recipe for the tea that I gave out this morning is a great one. If you are looking at herbs that are anti-inflammatories, you've got stinging nettle It's going to lower your blood pressure, but you can certainly have stinging nettle as a tea. You've got your hibiscus, which is a wonderful one. You've got rosemary, which, as we've said, is an anti-inflammatory, but it is also an antiviral, an antibacterial. It is an antimicrobial. It's anti-anything that's bad, antifungal as well. So rosemary is one that you can take as a cup of tea. Depending, of course, on other health conditions that you have, please be sure to consult with your medical doctors. Advice that we give you on this show is supplementary and does not replace medical advice. Okay, so we have been asked, yes, there is a question that came in from Zamani. We will, if you can direct message us, we will give you the information you require. In terms of the costochondritis, essentially, you're wanting to reduce inflammation. A beautiful supplement that you can take that is a natural one is berberine. Berberine is a plant extract, and it is known as nature's insulin. It is one of those things that you can take to heal your circulatory system, your gut health, your joint health, your brain health, prevents Alzheimer's and dementia as well. So that's 500 milligrams once a day in the morning. Watch your sugar if you're on insulin. Watch your blood pressure if you have high blood pressure or low blood pressure, because this tends to lower your need for insulin. Berberine, that's right. Yes, Fatima Esfendi is asking, that's how you spell it. Absolutely. Berberine. Now let's talk about the lung health. You know, Siboniso was complaining about his chest earlier. Not complaining, he was commenting. We don't complain. We comment to one another what's happening. And then, you know, people online have asked about inflammation. They've asked about colds and flu. And really, we've spoken about onions for colds and flu as a cough syrup. It works very, very well. But you know, it works exceptionally well for the lungs. Mullein. And it's a weed. Mullein is a weed that grows in South Africa, also known as verbascum. It grows very, very tall, and then it shoots off all these pretty yellow flowers at the top. Well, mullein is something that helps with your, mullein helps with your lungs. Mullein also helps with hearing. So people who have burst eardrums or have even burst eardrums, you're not supposed to put anything into your ear if you have a burst eardrum, because owie, Aina, you're going to make it worse. Then there's an infection. But what you can do is take a fresh mullein leaf, put it into boiling water, take it out, fold it up, and while it's still warm, hold it over your ear so that the steam from the mullein with the essential oils in the mullein kind of steam into your ear without causing blockages. But mullein is a weed. Do you know, many years ago I wanted mullein and I ended up having to drive to the northern Transvaal to go and actually get some. Right. Sister Khadija message us and says, Assalamu alaikum, Rabia, Jazakallah khair for the wonderful advice on ginseng. This is what I received. Do I make the whey and can I eat the ginseng after drinking the water? Jazakallah khair. So she sent us a picture of sliced ginseng. Now you can have sliced ginseng in a tea or in a tincture. I don't recommend that you try to eat the sliced ginseng after you've used it. But if you've used it to make a tea and then you want to say candy it as you would candy dried fruits to use in cakes, then it might be a bit more palatable. You're going to find ginger quite bitter to try to, not ginger, ginseng, quite bitter to try to have just like that. Okay. So that's the answer to that question over there. Then in terms of our weeds, have you ever seen, Siboniso, you look at these, in between the grass, there's like this weed that grows and suddenly it looks like a tiny round strawberry. Seen those? Small little round, sometimes red, sometimes pinkish, off-white, pink. Those are called a wild strawberry. And people think, it's just weeds, it's going to spread through the grass. Gently lift it up. Put it in a pot where you can actually grow it, because wild strawberries are actually really great for your health. You can eat them. You can eat the fruit. They're quite high in carbohydrates, unlike your normal strawberries that are low in carbohydrates. The wild strawberries are high in carbohydrates. They do contain fiber. They contain things like magnesium and calcium and even iron. And then your vitamins, they've got folic acid, they've got carotene. Carotene is carotene. Carrot normally comes from a carrot. That's why people who consume too many carrots, the skin may actually begin to go orange or yellow. I wonder if that's what Trump does. Anyway, side notes. Carotene is also available in your wild strawberry. And it's the thing, if your skin is pale and you're wanting to catch a tan, it's the thing that helps you to catch a tan. If you don't have carotene, not keratin, carotene, you can't actually tan. How's that? Carotene and melanin, you need those two. Now, wild strawberry, you're not just going to eat the flowers, the fruit, but you're also going to have the leaves, because those leaves are packed with antioxidants. The kind of antioxidants that get rid of free radicals. And you see all of these cosmetic adverts, banish free radicals, get rid of free radicals. It's all these little molecules that float through our body and then can actually make us age. And the wild strawberry leaves fight that aging. So you can make yourself a cup of tea with your wild strawberry leaves. Yes. Now, that cup of tea is not just going to make you rejuvenate, but it's going to boost your immune system. And it's also an anti-inflammatory, and it is a digestive aid, and it regulates your blood sugar, and it's great for your heart health and for your skin health. So in actual fact, this big tea that I have this morning that we brought in for our Tissan of the morning, this green thumbs up show, actually could be replaced almost entirely, apart from the cayenne pepper, with a cup of wild strawberry leaf tea. Not only that, people often use it in cosmetics. They will use it because it's great for anti-aging. So there you go. But remember, the dandelion we were saying is great for anti-aging as well. You can make a tea, wash your face in it as a toner, and that really brightens your face. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It's going to brighten your face. So if you have this beautiful, dark, rich, black skin, it's going to make it glow. If you have this beautiful white, light skin, it's going to make it glow. If you're somewhere in between with all the different shades of chocolate, it's going to make your skin glow. Dandelion tea makes your skin glow, and it helps to boost your collagen production and get rid of pigmentation. So if you're making some dandelion tea, all you need is two or three of the flowers that you pick from your garden. Never use flowers that you pick from next to the street or where a car parks, because that's got lots of car fumes that have been absorbed into the plant. We don't want none of that. But we do want to have the dandelion flowers that are fresh, put them into a cup of boiling water, let it stand for 5 minutes, and then you can use that as a tea, drink it. It builds collagen in your body, in your joints, in your muscles. Throughout your body, we need collagen. Or you can use it as a toner on your skin, or you can eat the flowers. Did you know you can eat dandelion flowers? And they're quite tasty. They have a nutty kind of floral and nutty flavor. So they're great combined in omelets. They are great cut up and put into stews towards the end. And you're going to be giving your body a little bit of anti-inflammatory. They are great if you cut them up very finely and put them into salads. So dandelion flowers, you can eat them raw. You can eat them cooked. You can have your dandelion leaves when they are very young. You can also have them raw or cooked. How wonderful is that? Now, how do we grow these weeds? How do we grow them? Move them gently from where they are growing, that they are not where you want them. Move them gently. Go quite deep, because they are weeds because their roots tend to go very deep, or they tend to spread out quite a lot and go deep. So try to go deep and try to get the whole plant out. So cut around at least 8 to 15 centimeters around the base of the plant, right around that weed. Take it and put it in a pot plant. People say, what, are you growing weeds? Yes, I am, because these weeds, we need these weeds. There's another very common weed, and during the corona times, COVID times, I spoke and said to folks, please get yourself onto goldenrod tincture. Goldenrod is a very powerful natural antibiotic and anti-inflammatory, of course. And goldenrod is a weed. Can you believe it? It is a weed. Look it up. Now, goldenrod is not just an antibiotic, but it's an antibiotic that is specifically good for respiratory ailments. So whether you're taking a tincture or you're drinking a cup of tea, you can have some goldenrod. Sister Fatima has messaged us and says, Salams, my dear, chamomile tea, how good is it? Bought some. Please advise. I'm very stressed. Well, then you've got just the right thing. Chamomile tea is really good. But a lot of people think chamomile tea is just for kiddos. And it is. It is for babies as well. If you have a baby that's tummy is not working very well, you can give baby some chamomile tea, dilute it. So if you make a cup of chamomile tea, dilute it then with 4 cups of water if you're dealing with an infant, and give only very little first thing in the morning with a few grains of brown sugar to get the tummy working if baby is constipated. For adults, chamomile tea is safe. You can drink it 3 times a day. Absolutely keeps you a lot calmer, not as strong as something like valerian root or St. John's wort, but it also doesn't have the potential negative effects that St. John's wort and valerian root may bring with them. Chamomile tea also doesn't mess with the lady's cycle, whereas valerian root and St. John's wort does. Chamomile tea also doesn't have withdrawal effects, which St. John's wort and valerian root may have. So, chamomile root is a brilliant one. Chamomile tea, pardon me. If you're wanting to sleep and you're finding you're struggling to sleep, chamomile tea works great. But people will drink it and say, it hasn't worked for me. That's because you're only using 1 tea bag. If you're wanting to knock yourself out with chamomile, you're going to need a power cup. And that means 2 tea bags of chamomile tea in boiling water and let it stand. Let it stand. If you're putting it in a pot, bring it to a boil, switch off the heat, and you can even gently simmer it for 5 minutes. Don't boil, simmer for 5 minutes, because you want a tea that is dark and rich made of chamomile. And if you drink that tea, my recommendation is go to bed early, because it's going to want to keep you asleep for a long time. For a very long time. Chamomile tea is brilliant. Now, Sister Farhana has messaged us. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Hope that you are, alhamdulillah, inshallah, finding out about hibiscus tea. Jazakallah khair. So let's talk about hibiscus. So hibiscus tea is one of the ones that I have put in my teacup today, hibiscus tea. And hibiscus is one of those plants that grows like everywhere in Durban, but it is quite a tropical plant. Now, the big thing about hibiscus tea is the regulation of fat in the body, particularly cholesterol and plaque in our veins and arteries. It is an immune booster. It is an antioxidant. It's very powerfully antioxidant. So hibiscus is one of the first things that I reach for. It's got a taste of a bitter strawberry. That's what it tastes like to me, a bitter strawberry. Not quite a raspberry, but a bitter strawberry. It's the first thing that I reach for colds, flus, any kind of sniffle that I'm coming down with. I'll go for the hibiscus tea first of all, probably alongside yarrow, which is another weed that grows wild everywhere, and yet it has such magnificent properties. But staying on hibiscus tea, it's going to support you also in terms of your liver health, along with something like milk thistle. Some people don't like to take milk thistle because milk thistle has got you can get it in a tablet or you can get it in a tincture, but it's not something that you can have in a tea. Right? Whereas hibiscus, you can definitely have it in a tea. Does hibiscus, another listener is asking, does hibiscus give you loose stools? No, hibiscus should not give you loose stools. However, because it helps with digestion, if you don't have a problem with digestion, it may loosen things slightly. It's not like parsley that's actually going to loosen things. Now, parsley is a huge digestive aid. If you suffer from constipation, parsley is amazing. Cut a quarter cup of fresh parsley, or take a quarter cup of fresh parsley out of your freezer, put it into a cup, fill it with boiling water, strain it and steep it. Your hibiscus, it's 1 teaspoon to a cup of boiling water, a tablespoon to a liter of boiling water. And it is going to help you. Hibiscus is also one of those, like matcha, like green tea, that help with weight management. Now, this does not mean that you can drink copious amounts of hibiscus tea and then just eat whatever you like. The body does not quite work that way. But the hibiscus also for heart health, of course, we've said liver health and blood sugar management. I cannot believe that is all we have time for today. Siboniso, time flies like the wind.
We are rushing to our
We
grave.
are rushing to our grave, yes, but before we go, in these last 3 minutes, I'd like to experience a moment of gratitude with all of you. It's so important to start our days with gratitude. So when we don't top the show with it, we will tail it. So let's take a deep breath in. And let's exhale for even longer than we inhale so that we can reset our parasympathetic nervous system in a moment of appreciation. And just say, Jazakallah, Alhamdulillah, thank you for this beautiful day, for the people in our lives, for the situations that challenge us to rise to the occasion, for the difficulties and the good things, for all these things that come to us. And we remember that today is a beautiful day to be happy. And you're going to be happy very soon because Sister Salma KW, Sister Salma Kazi Wahhabi, is coming along with your Sunday lounge, playing some beautiful nasheeds with you right up until 12 o'clock. So from me and from Brother Sibonisum Kize in studio and the entire team here at Radio Al Ansar, we've got some other questions that have come in. We will keep them. We will get back to you next week. From us,